but right now, you are being lied to. And no, it is not a mistake. It is intentional, and it's dangerous, and it's putting American lives in danger. A damning new House Republican report finding intelligence generated by the U.S. Central Command was manipulated. The reason? To fool you, to paint a better and false picture to the American people about the fight against ISIS. Just a short time ago, New York Congressman, Major in the U.S. Army Reserves, and Donald Trump endorser, Congressman Lee Zeldin, went on the record. Congressman, nice to see you, sir.
Oh, it's great to be with you.
Congressman, according to the news, the intelligence reports from U.S. Central Command has been deceptive about the state of our fight against ISIS, painting a skewed or rosier picture. What do you say, sir?
This is a pretty explosive initial finding. I'm looking forward to seeing what the IG's report is going to show as well, while Congress continues to investigate this as well. Whistleblowers coming forward with some pretty important information, because our military commanders rely on accurate intelligence analysis for the military decision-making process, development of operations orders. The decision is relying on accurate intelligence. And then the other piece of this is back home, domestic politics should never trump national security. And if this is coming from the top to try to paint a rosier picture for the president's domestic politics, you're putting American lives, service members in harm's way, and risking our national security.
You say it so much nicer than I'm thinking about it tonight, because I think it's just terrible to lie to the American people. Imagine sending your husband or your wife to war, or your children to war, and thinking that it's a much rosier picture, meanwhile that the American people are being lied as to what the state of the fight is. And let me take it one step further. I'm looking at the report. It says the Joint Task Force is troubled that despite receiving the whistleblower complaint in May 2015 and receiving alarming survey results in December 2015, neither CENTCOM, DIA, the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, nor ODNI have taken any demonstrable steps to improve the analytic climate within CENTCOM. Not only are they cooking the books, lying to the American people, but even though they know it, they've done nothing to correct it, according to this report.
Yeah, I mean, it risks our security. We have hotspots in Iraq, in Syria. When you look further out, I mean, in Libya, in Afghanistan, CENTCOM that is the hotspot on the globe right now for American security, for global security. So much of the threat we see in Europe that we're facing here at home is coming from that area of jurisdiction.
What are you going to do about it? I mean, what is somebody going to do about it? Because apparently they're doing nothing about it, because they've known about it for over a year, according to this, and nothing's being done. And it may be like packaged together in some nice little report, but the problem is lives are, at risk. I mean, what are members of Congress, what's the president going to do about it tonight?
Yeah, I think the next step is we need to see this Inspector General's report. We need to know exactly who is responsible in order to hold them accountable. As we saw with this president, when he placed 50 special operations forces in Syria, in the hottest spot on the entire globe, he says they weren't there on a combat mission, even though that was completely divorced from reality. So what we need to know is exactly who is responsible so that we can hold them accountable. What's further concerning is that we had new senior leadership at CENTCOM come in, with General Austin coming in and his senior leadership. And that timing is also concerning. I remember seeing so many press conferences, General Austin with the president. I don't know the nature of their relationship. I served with General Austin. I've known him since he was a colonel. I really hope that when we hold individuals accountable, that it didn't go up to his level or even higher.
Well, there's something really wrong with this picture when you got a report like this, and the president's on vacation in Martha's Vineyard, and all the members of Congress are on recess in the House and the Senate, and meanwhile the books are being cooked for the American people, and we have men and women in military who are in harm's way, and we find out that they're lying about the state of the fight against ISIS. And it's not just a lie. It puts people at risk when they think it's a lot different than what they're facing.
Yeah, exactly. So I was at the battalion level when I was in Iraq with an infantry battalion from the 82nd Airborne Division. Our battalion commanders, our brigade commanders, division commanders at the tactical level are relying on accurate intelligence They need to know not only what type of resources, manpower, equipment they have available, but they also need to know exactly what to expect from the enemy. When choosing a course of action, when you have 3 available courses of action, you're choosing the one based off of the accuracy of it. So from that standpoint, we are absolutely seeing this, if true and if it even goes higher, we are seeing the highest levels of our military putting American men and women who are currently in harm's way at risk of losing life and limb because of domestic politics at home. It is outrageous, and once we can identify exactly who is responsible, those people need to be held accountable.
And I'd love to fax my copy of the report to President Obama in Martha's Vineyard if I had the fax number, so I'm sure that he read this tonight, because I think this is just awful. But anyway, Congressman, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Greta.